Okay, I've decided that this is actually just another half an hour after the previous video I just made, and it turns out that I do not want to work on this assignment, so I will continue this rampage of procrastination by making a new video. What's a better way of doing that? So, what I want to talk about, I want to talk about startup ideas. So one of the things that I was interested in is in technology and technology startups. I have I have a bunch of ideas and cool things to build. I'm a programmer by trade, right? I'm a student, so and one of the things that I want to talk about, the thing that I want to talk about today is basically I want to build I want to build a surround sound stereo system based on phone. So now you get, oh, how do you get surround sound on a phone? It's one single source. Well, we can get multiple sources. We get multiple phones. So imagine you going to a party and people are talking, mingling, right? And you notice that there's no music, and you say, wow, what a travesty, right? What kind of party doesn't have music? So you ask everyone to pull out their cell phones. The cell phones sync up to one another, right? Basically each phone discovers each other's relative positions, and then starts playing music in surround sound without you having to do any more setup. How do you do this? So first we have to discover the relative positions. So each phone will start playing a sound, and all the other phones will detect the volume of that sound, right? And this happens for every single phone. So every single phone kind of has the relative, a general idea about how far away each other phone is. And if we have more than 3 phones, we can actually use that to roughly triangulate the relative positions of each phone. So, I mean, this won't be accurate, but then again, surround sound, you don't need to be that accurate. If you're off by a little, I think surround sound will still be fine. So after that, after we have the relative positions of each phone, we can take a media, so like a music file, whatever. We can then put a mask on it to give like the phones on the right side have a mask that blocks the left sound, for example, right? Whatever. And then we pass the media down to each phone, and each phone plays it, and boom, we have a surround sound system. So some technical challenges are essentially, how does the triangulation system, how accurate is that? I have my doubts, but maybe it'll turn out well. Worst case scenario, we just have all the phones playing the same sound. So it won't be really surround sound, but it'll still be cool, right? It'll be like you stepping into a sea of music. Imagine that. That's a really cool idea. So as the second challenge is perhaps the much harder one is syncing the media on every single phone. Now this may be easy for 2 or 3 phones, but once you get up to 10 phones, 100 phones, syncing all the sound up to like a sub half second, right? I think that's actually probably it needs to be somewhere around like 10 milliseconds for it to be unnoticeable to the human ear. So to give it that sort of sync is really difficult, especially on something like 100 phones. So those are the 2 challenges. So some use cases. What are some opportunities here? So opportunities, obviously the scenario we just covered. When you want an ad hoc stereo system, everyone pull out their phones, boom, you're done. Stereo system, got it. And another thing you can do is that we can actually use this at concerts, right? So let's say you go to a Maroon 5 concert and Maroon 5 is jamming away up in the front, right? You don't want to just look at them, you want to be part of the show. So everyone in the concert, pull their phones and start playing the song in sync. So it's kind of like you stepping, as I said before, it's kind of like you stepping into the sea of music. It's much immersive, it's a much better experience, I'd imagine, than simply watching Maroon 5 play up there. So yes, that's the idea. If you have any questions, comments, rude remarks, leave them down there. That'd be awesome. If you have any ideas on how to implement this better than I described, also leave them down there. If you really hate this idea, leave them down there. And yes, that's it for now. Thank you. Goodbye.